Hey everyone, welcome back. I am thrilled that you're taking a little time out of your day to hang out with me today. I am just about to do our drugstore eyeshadow palette swatches. I'm excited to get in and start using those drugstore palettes more often. In fact, I used them for today's look since I knew I was going to go swatch them. I used the e.l.f. All matte shadow 10 pan I have. I don't remember what it's called right now. And then I also used the Flower Beauty Coastal Lights palette. I used that Melt So High mascara again. It is 1010. I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the swatching. I am doing this a little differently than I did last time. I'm going to talk you through the swatches as I'm going through and kind of give you an idea of what I think I'm going to like and what I'm excited to use and things like that. I feel like I should have done that in the first video in hindsight. I wasn't feeling good at the time and I didn't have a voice to talk. I think that it will be better this time, but you guys will have to let me know down in the comments what you prefer. And let's go ahead, let's roll the footage, let's get into it. Like, subscribe, all the YouTube things. Let's start with my e.l.f. Halo palettes because they're the ones that have the most mattes in them, and I want to start with the mattes before I get into the shimmers. And then once you start doing the shimmers, especially those really flaky ones from Flower Beauty that I have, it's not going to come all the way off. I just want to see the matte without the glitter impeding any of the, the matte. I hate how they write these things so tiny. e.l.f. is out to get me, I swear. Nude Mood. That's right, Nude Mood. I actually really, really love this palette. I used it in my look today. And these colors just create such a beautiful gradient and work so well together and so easily blendable. I don't have anything negative to say about this palette. It lasts a good decent amount of time on the eyes. There's not a lot of fallout. There's not a ton of kick up. There's a little bit of kick up, but there's not a ton of kick up. They're really light to start, that is what I will say. I appreciate that because it allows for building, and they do build really well. But if you're the kind of person that likes a lot of pigment right out the gate, you're not going to find that with these. See, I'm going to build these first two up a little more. But they do build quite nicely. And I can't say I've used these browns in particular very much. I've used this one a little bit, but I haven't dipped into these too much. I really like how sheer this one is. I need to use that more. I'm going to go back in with the two lightest ones and just re-swatch those. I meant to do this one. See how nicely they build? And then these last two colors, this kind of like charcoal and kind of a deep grayish brown, these are both really beautiful. And I could see myself repurchasing this palette. The next e.l.f. palette, Everyday Smoky. See how tiny that writing is? I really enjoyed this palette as well. The shimmers are just like standard drugstore shimmers, but they're nice. I really want to find the products that work for me. I need to find my medium. And I really like these e.l.f. 10 pans. I haven't tried any of their other eyeshadows, not even the new ones in the square pan. It's the little acrylic square pans. I do want to try those, but I haven't. I'm going to go ahead and start swatching this. I wish they had the names on the back of the palette here, but they don't, so I don't have a name for you on these palettes anyways. If I have a name for the color, I'll let you know. And because these are so light, I do wonder in particular how they would perform on deeper skin tone. I'm going back in and swatching some more. I really love this color right here. I mean, I really think for these palettes, the mattes are truly the stars. These shimmers are really light. Mattes are just so buttery. e.l.f. has really done a great job with these 10 pens. So you can see the deeper shimmers much easier. Oops, botched that a little. Take a Q-tip and we'll separate them. Oh no, I just, oh, okay, hold on, we're gonna start those swatches over. That's better. And these mattes, again, I can't with them, they're so good. This is the most beautiful graphite. I love it. And then look at that black. Look at that black. Yeah, let's swatch it. Let's see how it swatches. Because I've never swatched these palettes out. I've only used them, which I know I should have swatched them out in the first place. That's the first swatch. Let's put some more on. See what happens. Like, are you kidding me? I am so excited to play with this palette more. Just look at the nuance of these colors. And these toppers, why am I not reaching for those more? They're gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is the one I got free at Christmas time, and I have not even played with it yet at all. It's just been sitting there because I've been focusing on my Sigma palettes that I was going through, and I'm now not done using them, but I'm done like focusing on them right now. And this one is called, I think it's Electric City or Electrical City. I really can't read it very well. I used to think that I didn't like blue eyeshadow, but ever since I tried the Mauve eyeshadow, the Cream Clay, it's one of Jessica Hayes's, and I can't remember the number right now, but I'll put it on the screen. I have rediscovered blue. I think I was just always using the wrong tone of blue for my preference of like what I want it to look like on my skin. These look right up my alley. Let's go ahead and swatch this out. Again, I don't have names. I don't even feel like I need to go back in with that white, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can build it really well. It's still pretty sheer, but I feel like if I kept building it or used a primer, I could definitely get that to be a beautiful opaque white. I'm not sure how much use I'll get out of this purple. I feel like I have a lot of other purples. It is pretty, and if I had this palette out, I might be inspired to use it in this color story. So it is a pretty purple. That black is really pretty too. This one feels a little less deep black, a little more gray. And I like that you have these warm browns as contrast, and even this warm purple as contrast. This is going to be a fun palette to use. Okay, so that's the last e.l.f. palette. Up next is my collection of Flower Beauty palettes, and these are not all original to their pans. I had all 4 palettes, and I just didn't use the Desert Lights that often, but there were a few colors in it that kept me from getting rid of it. and I went through, pulled them out and switched them around, and I gifted the Desert Lights. This is what we have left, and I don't remember what I put where, so I don't know that the names are all correct. The Coastal Lights palette is intact, I know that. The Garden Lights definitely has a Desert Light shade in it. I know that's one of the Desert Light shades, and I think there's just one different in each one. So I feel like it's either this one, or maybe both of these that are Desert Lights. Regardless, this is about what I have in my collection for me to use. It is still useful for me to go through and swatch these. I will look at the back and try to let you know which ones are not original to the palette. I will do my best. Let's start with the Coastal Lights, because that one I can't mess up. And these are a little different than all the other Lights palettes. These are, I don't want to say thinner, because I don't feel like that's the right word. But they're more of a sheen than a shimmer. They're not as flaky. I don't feel like they're as dense. I feel like there's still kind of a heavy shadow on the lid. They're not super light or anything. I liked that they mixed it up and gave us a different texture, and these are really pretty. Like, look at that one. And when you can see when it's like feathered out, you get like a little bit of kind of a taupey color around the edges. This is a beautiful mermaid palette, which is why I think they call it Coastal Lights. And you can make a dark mermaid look because you've got this nice, beautiful, deep color. This is so pretty. I feel like you would probably want to use mattes as well to build up the look. But I do really like this palette. This one right here, this pinky peach one, that's Sunrise. This golden one is Dunes. This kind of blue tealy color, that's Salty. This is Tide, Aqua, and Seafoam. I think it's a really weird to call this Aqua. This feels more Aqua. I didn't name them. I think this might be actually my favorite palette from Flower Beauty, if I'm being honest. All right, up next we're gonna do the Jungle Lights palette. This was the original palette that I picked up that made me fall in love with the formula. There were a couple shades in here that were just too deep for me and didn't really work for my preference or my taste. This one has, I believe, just one that I switched out, possibly two. But when we get to naming them, we can definitively say that. These ones are much more flaky, much more textured. The colors too are just like this grungy garden, which I think is the intent with the Garden Lights palette. You'll see that I did get a little staining from the last palette. You really have to use your finger or a silicone spatula with these, but it's so worth it. And you do get this payoff on your eye if you use your finger or a spatula. Unlike some formulas where you can get this in a swatch, but you can never get this formula you can. And that's what I love about it. I just like putting my finger, the texture of these are so beautiful. They're definitely a sensorial experience to use. And I feel like you can get some fallout with these, but it's not as bad as you would think for how flaky it is. Look at that eggplant. Oh, that probably is too dark for me, but right now I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try it out. Hopefully it won't be. We have Tiger Lily, Anaconda. This one appears to be from the Desert palette, so I'm not sure what it's called. This one is Wild. This is Jaguar. And this one is Paradise. And you know what? Somehow I got some purple in that. Let's re-swatch that. That's more like it. So it was just the one color in here. And it wasn't even the one I thought it was, because I thought it was Tiger Lily that had gotten switched. Actually, I think it might be. This might not be Tiger Lily. It looks a lot like Tiger Lily, but there were a couple colors that were very similar in palettes, and I went with the color I liked better and just got rid of the other one, since on the eye they end up virtually looking the same. Love the Jungle Lights. Look at the staining. That's insane. I have only had that on my arm for while I was talking to you. I didn't go do anything else. That's wild. So I guess I'm going to switch arms, and then maybe I'll have to do the Profusion palette tomorrow, because I know the Profusion palette also stains. But we'll see. Maybe these ones won't stain. This is the Garden Lights palette. This, again, is one of the newer palettes. The Jungle Light and the Desert Light came out first, and Coastal and the Garden were the ones that came out last year, I think in 2024. Beginning maybe of 2024. I think they would have done themselves a favor if they had made the pans magnetic. I think there would have been a market for these to be able to be a singles collection. Anyways, let's go ahead and go through. Again, there's some shades that don't belong in here that are in here. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can just swatch them further down on my arm. Let's do that. I just love this watermelon color. It's so pretty. I guess it looks a little bit more peach in the viewfinder, but you see how it moves? Got that watermelon color. You can kind of see it on the edge here. That's what it looks like to me. And this is like a really basic shade, but I feel like it gives the Space Cowboy vibe. Oh my gosh, this one's so creamy. Oh, almost too much creamy. Ooh, I love this Barbie pink. And another warm purple too, like I was saying. See, I have so many warm purples. That green, that is almost like a gilded green, is stunning. All right, let me give you the names. So this was a Desert Light palette. I don't know the name of it, but I had to keep it because I love the color. This is Petal. This is Iris. This is Wildflower. This is Bloom. And this is Ivy. So the only one that's not original is this color, which came from the Desert Light palette. The original color that was in here was another champagne color, and I just kept that one because I feel like I didn't need multiple. I'm gonna have to go through at the end here. We'll go through and I'll pick some favorites and tell you what I'm most excited about using after we've gone through everything. All right, last but not least, we've got the Profusion Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle palette. It's a 24 pan palette, much bigger than I usually go. I'm more comfortable, I think, around the 9 to maybe max 15 palette. This is a little big for me, but I was so excited by this collab with Profusion and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And honestly, I did buy this as more of a nostalgia piece than makeup. But I also was excited to have some colorful makeup that I could play with and try out before I spent money on more expensive colorful makeup, and I think I will continue to use this. I was very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoy this color story they put together. I think it really represents the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise really well. Oh, I did it again. I have my stained arm and I just put it, you know what, we're just gonna do it on the top. And yes, those last set of Flower Beauty palettes did absolutely stain. This does have quite a bit of fallout. You definitely want to wear something under your eyes or wait to do the rest of your makeup. And they also stain. It is a really affordable drugstore palette. As far as drugstore palettes go and colorful drugstore palettes that you can actually get at a drugstore, not having to order online. I realize there's like ColourPop and things nowadays, but I feel like they don't sell this colorful of a ColourPop in store. They always end up being the more neutral colors. That's what I've noticed. Ooh. The shimmers are so soft and creamy. I don't know how they did it with their budget, but kudos to them. Look at that color. Isn't that color beautiful? That's that warm purple again. That one has like a black base though. I really like that one. Ooh, that orange. I don't think I've ever swatched the orange. That is really pretty. Let's see if we can build more. Ooh, I like that a lot. I'm gonna be playing with that for sure this next week. Let's see if we can build this cream up a little bit more. Sorry, I'm out of focus. Ooh, this color scares me. I don't think I've ever swatched it because it scares me. Okay, it's so dark. Oh, mixed in with my hot pink or my hot red. It's more of a hot red. Who is your favorite character on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Mine was definitely April. Me and my sister loved April. We would both fight over who get to be April when we would play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She usually won because she's the older sister, of course, but I think I held my ground pretty well most of the time. I usually end up being someone like Michelangelo or something, though, which is fine. It's not April. That silver actually is really pretty. You can build it up. Looks like 1,000 diamonds. This blue has me super excited. See, they can be a little chunky. I think it's just that they're not as hard pressed, if I'm understanding how that works. See, even though they're a little powdery, they're not patchy. It's a pretty lime. Let's see if we can build this blue at all. I did get a little patchy there, but I think that's just the hair on my arm. And obviously you don't have hair on your eyelid. And these greens are the reason I really wanted this palette. I love green, and these greens were calling my name. This is the kind of green I like. I thought about getting the Nomad Ireland palette, but I'm not sure. I already have this. I feel like I don't need it at this point, but it's definitely tempted me. I think at this point, though, I'm over it. That looks so messy on my arm like this. I promise they don't look like this on the eye. Like I said, they do get powdery. And they are bright colors, so it can be quite obnoxious to have that, but for being so accessible, I feel like it's a really good formula. I don't know how the rest of their formula stacks up. Let me know down in the comments if you use Profusion and you know it'd be interesting to know, but I don't have any desire to go buy any more Profusion palettes right now because they do have so much fallout and they are powdery and they do stain. There's just better formulas out there that I want to use now. I do enjoy this palette. I'm not mad that I bought it. And I definitely, like I said, want to get more use out of it. It's just a really fun rainbow palette, really. Let's see if we can build this white up. This is the one I made a look with the other day. It is beautiful. And I can get it pretty dang white on me, which is amazing. This orange, I think, this got me really excited to play with. I love that it's right here by this blue. What is it? Is it the Broncos that are orange and blue? You can't really tell. The cream is here. And I don't believe there's names on the back, correct? So I don't know the names of these. I love yellow is my favorite color, like a goldenrod color. And I feel like that could be really fun. I'm excited to make some colorful looks. Let me know down in the comments if you made it this far. Let me know which color, let me know which color out of this that you think I should make the look based on. Just pick one, because that could be fun if we did that. Thanks for joining me. I always appreciate hanging out with you guys. I will insert a follow-up here. Future Amy, here she is. Future Amy is here. It's a few days, couple days. I was gonna try to get this done the very next day, Friday, but I didn't, and then the weekend went by, so it's Monday, and I'm finally getting to give you my final thoughts on these palettes. And I went ahead, since I was filming this on a different day. It's kind of dark in here because it's like 9 o'clock at night by the time I'm actually getting to film this, but I used the Coastal Lights palette again today. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but that's what's on my eyes today. And let's go ahead, let's talk about these 3 e.l.f. palettes first. I think my favorite is definitely still this Nude Mood. I see this being a staple in my collection. It's just a great matte palette for me. I'm going to try to do an all matte look with it, which I haven't done in a while, so that will be fun. That's what I'm looking forward to with that one. And then this Everyday Smoky. I've used this quite a bit already, but it will be nice to reconnect with it and get just a little bit more use out of it. They're quite shallow pans, so I feel like they won't be that hard to pan. I mean, panning any eyeshadow is a challenge, but these are really shallow pans. And then this one is super colorful. I'm excited to do like a brown and blue look, kind of like a contrasting look. I'm thinking I'm going to do like a mostly brown look with like a pop of blue in the inner corner. That's what I think I want to try with this one. And then I did today what I wanted to do with the Coastal Lights, which was to just use only the Coastal Lights, no mattes or anything else on the lid. It's so hard to see because it's dark. It's just like a wash of color, like a watercolor, you know, ocean, mermaid vibes. But that's what I was going for. I honestly feel like they're a little heavy for layering that way. I would rather use like an Adept shadow or a Huda Beauty. For the drugstore, they're really great. They're great little one and dones, but for like layering and mixing the colors, I just feel like it was a little thick. It was harder to get it quite as sheer as I wanted it to. But I'll play with this again. That was fun to play with today. It was nice to get into. Like I said, it's a very sensorial experience to play with those shadows. The garden lights and the jungle lights. Honestly, after watching back the footage, I am not feeling as inspired to use these as much anymore. I am excited to use this kind of space cowboy color right here that I saved from the Desert Lights palette. Just funny, the one that I saved from the palette that I said I was, and whatever, is like the one that I still want to keep, and this one from Desert Lights. We'll see how they progress through my collection, but I have a feeling these are going to be on the chopping block this next year, and I definitely want to try to get some good use out of them before that happens, so this is a great time to reconnect with them and maybe find some fun looks to make with them. And of course, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle palette. I have quite a few things I'm excited to play with in here. I think I'm most excited to use this alongside my new Glisten wet liners that are really colorful and just do some really fun, bright, colorful looks. I want to play with these as like some bold graphic looks if I can. I want to play around with that, but I think I might do a little of that off camera. Get some practice in. If you guys know someone who does really fantastic graphic looks, I know there's so many people that do wonderful things on the internet, and I already watch a ton of people that do things, but if you have like a favorite graphic liner person that gives really good step-by-step instructions for hooded eyes, let me know, because I would love to check them out, maybe try out some of their tips and tricks. That is everything. Thank you again for joining me today. It's really great to spend some time hanging out with you. I hope you are well wherever you are. Until next time.